The NHL trade deadline is March 21st, and teams will have their fate decided in the next couple of weeks. Are the Rangers legitimate contenders to go out and get these guys out as rentals? Probably not, but let me dream and discuss with me. And tell me some of these guys wouldn't be perfect fits on this team right now. And for the first time in maybe 5 or 6 seasons, the Rangers are, I would say, legitimate buyers at the deadline. So if I'm management, why not try to go add a couple veterans to this team to help them out? Just want to talk about some rentals that the Rangers could make this season if they wanted to go win a Stanley Cup. Not saying that they're going to go get these guys. It would be really cool if they were to. I just want to put it out there that I've seen Jacob Chychrun's name of the Arizona Coyotes out there a lot and rumored to the New York Rangers. I do think it's true. However, he wouldn't be a rental. He would probably stay the length of his contract, and who knows after that if he performs well. He's a very good defenseman. He's on a really bad defensive team in Arizona. That team has its own problems, so his stats are kind of overshadowed by that. But I do like Jacob Chychrun as a long-term possibility for the Rangers. But let's get into some rentals, and the title of this video, Claude Giroux. The guys on your screen aren't the only prospects who can get traded. These are just some of the big targets, in my opinion, in the young guys area that could get moved from most likely to least likely. I do believe there are more defensemen at risk getting traded than forwards, just because of the crop that the Rangers still have of defensemen, but anything is possible. And now to Claude Giroux. Now Claude Giroux, the captain of the Philadelphia Flyers, we all know who he is. 34 years old, he's on the last year of his deal. Is he going to get moved out of Philly? And can the Rangers get him to solidify maybe that third line center, maybe even second line right wing? Now, if you look at the Philadelphia Flyers, Claude Giroux used to be that guy. He wasn't overshadowed by anyone. He was that guy. He was the go-to guy to get the goal, to get the big play, to score an overtime winner. And now you kind of see Sean Couturier and Kevin Hayes, former Ranger, most likely going to assume that role, especially now that Jacob Voracek is not there. They did bring in a depth guy like Cam Atkinson, and he's been their best offensive forward, in my opinion, all year long. They have a lot more youngish prospects that Philadelphia can use to take that next step. I don't see Claude Giroux fitting there for the next few years. I don't see it happening. But if Claude Giroux were to go to a team, I'm hearing that he's going to Colorado. It could be possible, but that's exactly kind of a team, and the Rangers, where Giroux wouldn't be that guy. He would be overshadowed by Zibanejad, Panarin. And if you think about it, it's very similar to what Pittsburgh did with Phill Kessel. Remember what happened? He went from Toronto, from being that guy, to Pittsburgh, overshadowed by Sid Malkin and Chris Letang, to then he was an effective player. He was an effective player for the Pittsburgh Penguins. He was able to take them to 2 Stanley Cups, help them take them to 2 Stanley Cups. I think he could be very Kessel-like, and I think he could be a good fit on a team that has a lot of pieces already. Let's just say the Rangers were the top team contending in the NHL. They wanted to add Claude Giroux. Would it even happen? It's the Philadelphia Flyers making a trade with the New York Rangers. But, I mean, if I'm the eyes of the Flyers, I don't think anything is stopping me from going out and getting the best trade available, especially after what's happened so far this season, and ever since really they got knocked out by the Flyers in the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs. Next up, similar to his career in the playoffs as Claude Giroux, Joe Pavelski. 3 years older than Claude, actually on his last year of his contract as well, and I don't see Dallas holding on to him, in my opinion. There's talks about moving John Klingberg, so I could definitely see Dallas trimming off some fat. I don't know if they're going to move Klingberg at this deadline, but it definitely seems like he wants out of Dallas. And I don't see how Joe Pavelski stays if they're thinking about moving guys like Klingberg. I know he asked for a trade and he wants to get out of there. But yeah, I don't think Dallas can get through the Western Conference, so I think Joe Pavelski would be a pretty good fit for the New York Rangers. Again, it would kind of help solidify that center or right wing. And imagine him and Chris Kreider in a 1-2 power play. 2 of the best deflectors in the NHL. That would be pretty lethal to see. The Rangers and Stars do have a history of trade. The most recent trade that these two teams made was Matt Zuccarello to Dallas when they helped Dallas with their cup run, the Rangers. You never know, Dallas could return the favor and Joe Pavelski could be a good fit for them. Gonna talk about one guy who we've already mentioned in this video, believe it or not. It's not Jacob Chychrun, but it's his teammate, Phill Kessel. And how can he help? Well, just like I said before about him not being that guy in Pittsburgh and helping them win in the playoffs, he would kind of play a similar role here in New York. I think Phil Kessel could absolutely thrive under the bright lights once again of a big market, especially if he's not the guy. It'll be Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider, Fox, Igor will be bigger than Phil Kessel as time goes on. I think Phil Kessel, to me, definitely has the experience going deep in the playoffs. He has a lot of experience scoring 5-on-5 goals, which that's an area where the Rangers need help in right now. And, believe it or not, if they don't trade for him this season, I can see the Rangers going out free agency and absolutely grabbing him. It would help the 5-on-5 scoring. It would help right wing. I think Kessel, honestly, might be the more realistic option right now out of the three guys I talked about, out of Giroux and Pavelski and Kessel, obviously. I think Kessel might be the most realistic option. The New York Rangers are ahead of schedule, and it's us as Ranger fans to know that. Listen, would I love to grab all three of these guys and go for an absolute run at the Cup? Absolutely. However, the Rangers aren't in a closing window where their win now mode is closing. It's not that situation. They're ahead of schedule, and management is going to be smart about this. I do think they're going to make trades, and definitely trades that'll help them for this season and in the future. But I don't see any big rental trades that they're going to make, like a Kessel, like a Pavelski, like a Giroux. These are just some guys that I thought maybe, hey, if they were in that position, these are some guys that I would absolutely get. And of course, we didn't touch on any defensemen. I appreciate you guys watching so much. Please leave a like if you did enjoy the video. We will have a live stream of GM Mode Year 2 later on, and I am very excited to do that with you guys once again. You loved it last week, so we're going to do it again. Year number 2. Yeah, so leave a like I said. I appreciate you guys so much, and I'll see you guys later.